If you like legal weed and you want to make money, boy, do I have a good story for you. A company called Tilray just made history. The first cannabis producer to IPO on a U.S. stock exchange. Tilray grows, processes, and distributes cannabis to tens of thousands of medical marijuana patients across 10 countries. It is now listed on the NASDAQ with the ticker name TLRY. There you go. Go to your Ameritrade. That's a key step for wooing investors who might never have considered investing in the pot industry. And it represents the future of the business. Here with me now to explain why you should invest in cannabis now and how you can get rich doing it, because it's all a dream come true. Tilray CEO and Privateer Holdings Executive Chairman, Brendan Kennedy. Welcome back to the show, Brendan.
Thanks so much for having me back, Kennedy.
So the pleasure is mine, Brendan Kennedy. Well said. So let's talk a little bit about the historic nature of this offering. What does it mean?
So we went out about a year ago meeting with investors from the U.S., mostly blue chip mutual funds, and they were looking for a cannabis company to IPO on a major U.S. exchange, a company to be regulated by the SEC and report in U.S. GAAP. And for them, they were looking to hedge investments in pharmaceutical companies and alcohol companies that are threatened by the emerging global cannabis industry. So we followed up on those meetings and met with NASDAQ and were able to list through an IPO last Thursday.
Well, and, you know, we'll see if the stock takes off. I am hopeful because I have seen the future. And I understand generationally this may be very different for younger consumers than it is for some golden Americans who think that people mostly just smoke pot and it smells like skunks and it's gross and it makes people rob old ladies, when in fact you say majority of the consumers in the next few years are going to be partaking in edibles and vape pens and stuff like that.
That's right. We've seen smoking plummet over the last 8 years since I've been in this industry. More and more people are looking for a beverage that is, calorie free or low calorie, that doesn't create a hangover the next day. They're looking for a mint or a slip, an edible, and so fewer and fewer people are smoking. So that whole cliche of smoking is somewhat been thrown out the door.
Okay, so how can your IPO influence Washington, and particularly Attorney General Jeff Sessions and the President and Congress to reschedule marijuana so, we can have a flourishing market like they're going to in Canada, because they're going to do more testing and they're going to take advantage of the green rush. What is the direct correlation between your offering and government policy?
So our product is currently available in 10 countries on 5 continents. Roughly 30 countries around the world have legalized medical cannabis, roughly 30 states as well. Canada obviously will be the first G7 nation to legalize recreational cannabis. The first sale will take place October 17th. They've already legalized but haven't had the first sale. What I think is happening in the U.S. is that about 65% of Americans believe that recreational cannabis should be legal. 93% of Americans believe medical cannabis should be legal. Most of Congress is from a place where cannabis is legal in some format.
And they're seeing the upside. Last question. Can my friends and I get rich off your stock?
I think that if you're looking to replace some of your investments in pharma and alcohol, cannabis is a good place to put those investments.
Well said, Brendan Kennedy. Thank you so much. Best of luck in the future, and please keep us posted.